There's a lovely walk to be enjoyed between Royal Leamington Spa and Warwick that, on a summer's day, seems full of life. Golden wheat in the fields on one side and the gentle River Avon on the other. Butterflies and birds overhead. The smell of cow parsley and warm earth, the sound of soft wind and water. But even on a glorious day, the imposing sight of Guy's Cliffe House, a Palladian residence that now lies in ruins, has the power to send shivers down your spine. And when the weather closes in, with chill winds and leaden skies, the roofless walls and gaping black windows become altogether more sinister. The history of Guy's Cliffe House extends back far before any house was built. Long before any man-made structures graced the site, people were drawn to the mystical essence of the riverside caves and peaceful countryside. It was in one of these caves that the medieval hero Guy of Warwick, living as a lowly hermit, sadly died. According to legend, Guy fell in love with Felice, the daughter of the Earl of Warwick, but he was not considered worthy of her. To win her hand and heart, Guy went on heroic quests, defeating monstrous beasts and becoming a knight of some renown. He finally married Felice, but filled with remorse for his violent past, left her almost immediately in order to travel to Jerusalem as a pilgrim. Guy promised Felice that he would return, and after some years he did come back to Warwick, but instead of reuniting with his wife, he took the place of a local hermit in a cave on the banks of the River Avon. Only when he was at the brink of death did Guy send a message to Felice, and they were reconciled just before he died. One version of the story says Felice was so devastated by this that she threw herself in the river and drowned. Another says that she died of a broken heart. Whichever may be true, her distraught ghost, sometimes in white, sometimes appearing in grey, is said to have haunted the area around Guy's Cliffe House ever since. Richard Beauchamp, Earl of Warwick, established a chapel on the site of the hermitage in 1423, and the area was admired by poets and artists as an abode of pleasure. An Elizabethan house was built, itself then replaced by Samuel Greathead's mansion in 1757, which was enlarged throughout the 1800s. Sadly, the fortunes of this magnificent building then changed. It was used as a hospital in World War I, became a boys' home for the duration of World War II, then parts of the estate were auctioned off, the house cruelly stripped of all its fittings, windows, fireplaces, lead, and even floorboards. The much reduced building was bought by a consortium of Masonic lodges in 1983, but any hoped-for redevelopment failed to materialise. In 1992, during the filming of The Last Vampire, an episode of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, a fire broke out at the derelict house. Taking 10 hours to bring under control, the flames consumed the internal structures, leaving the shell of the once great property that we see today. With such a long and troubled history, is it any wonder that Guy's Cliffe House is known as a site of spectral activity and supernatural happenings? Felice, long dead, may haunt the grounds, but she is far from alone. Cross the threshold of the ruin, and it is reported that you'll feel a sudden, inexplicable drop in temperature. A sense of dread creeps over you. Is there something terrible waiting here? Or is something awful about to happen? The oppressive weight of impending doom becomes too much. You step back, heart racing, and you're suddenly warm again, the fear melting away like a nightmare at dawn. Just be grateful you didn't stay long enough to see the giant black figure appear from the shadows next to you. Footsteps can be heard echoing across the upper floor, and sometimes the disconcerting sound of bangs with no source. Strange lights have been seen all around the site, lightning bolts, sparks, an eerie beam of white that appears from nowhere. A spectral lady has been sighted standing at one of the balcony windows, a fleeting vision which sometimes falls. And always there's a feeling of great sadness and pity, of disquiet and regret, as if the very bones of Guy's Cliff House themselves weep to remember their former glory, now crumbling under the relentless assault of nature and neglect.